We're in a time right now where people are going to social media 6 to 10 times a day.
The power of that is that we have the ability to be able to get in front of them as businesses. The challenge is it's a social environment. So how do we get to them, but in a way where they want to receive the message? Whatever site that you are planting your flag on or being active on, just make sure that you're active on it. I want you to audit your digital marketing footprint. And any sites that you are not active on, I'm going to allow you to make a choice. Either become active on it, meaning build a following there and create content on there, or delete it. So if you have a Snapchat channel or you have an Instagram page that you're not doing anything with, it may be doing more harm than good to you.
It was incredibly beneficial. I took a ton of notes. I also got the book. So we'll be implementing a lot of these action points and the advice that we got into our 2018 plan.
I always know that there's a big decision for the meeting planner to make when they're hiring a speaker. And oftentimes it's, sizzle or steak. Am I gonna get somebody to entertain? Am I gonna get somebody to educate? And if I had to pick the category that I'm in, it's educate. I'm there to give your attendees a return on their investment. Every person that leaves that room has a page full of notes. Now, along the way, I try to make it fun. I try to make it entertaining, and I think I do an okay job at it.
I will tell you a quick story. The reason this all came about is a man was sitting in my audience about a year or so ago, and at a break, he ran up to me sweating profusely, very nervous, and he's like, "Corey, you haven't talked about syndicating my Twitter feed on my website. I need you to do that, and you haven't done it yet." And I said, "No problem. I'm not planning on doing it on this presentation. Be happy to talk to you afterwards. Tell me more about your business." And he said, "I sell medical supplies to the elderly." And we kind of had this sort of moment where we looked at each other and our heads are kind of like, and I didn't say anything, and he's like, "Do I need to be on Twitter?" And I was like, "I'm not sure that you do. I'm not sure that your market is there." And he was like, "Oh, okay, great." And he skipped back to his seat. So I would say rule number one is fish where the fish are. Figure out where your market is, your economic buyer, and then plant yourselves there.
Corey spoke to our group about 6 months ago. We've got members that are implementing what he taught them to this day and seeing the results. He was the #1 rated speaker for the entire conference.
Your overall goal with content is to stay top of mind with prospects until they become customers. Is that fair? Because here's the challenge that we have. People learn about us in January, but don't do business with us until June, July, October, November. So how do we stay on their radar? Or even when they become customers, how do we get them to become repeat customers? But how do we stay on their radar? We've got to stay connected with them, and we don't want to annoy them or frustrate them. And that's where social media content marketing is so powerful. If we can do it in a way that we're adding value to them and they're enjoying taking in the content that we're producing, we can stay top of mind with them. And when they're in buy mode, we get them every time.
As soon as I know that I'm going to an event, to make sure that the presentation is as customized as possible. Every industry is different. It's really important that if I'm going to a dental association, that I have examples that fit their industry. Another thing that I want to make sure that I do is if I can get a list of attendees, or at least an example of some of the sites, the social media pages, the websites that I'm going to see, I'll take a look at them. I never criticize anybody, of course, on stage, but I use what I see to be able to specifically narrow in to the recommendations that they need for their business.
Once we got on site, he was here. He let me know right away where he was. I met him. So polite, so wonderful, so easy to work with. It was unbelievable. They didn't want to leave. They wanted to talk to him afterwards. They wanted to stay for his next class. He's just a dream to work with. Probably one of the best speakers we've had attend our conference this year.